My name is Morag MacDonald, and one of my favourite objects from Elgin Museum Collection is this 700-year-old book clasp. And the reason why it's one of my favourite objects is the fact that its function has never changed. In 700 years, they're still making book clasps like this. And I think it is a beautiful little object. When I was employed by Elgin Museum in 2014, part of the job that I was employed to do was to accession some of the objects that had been sitting for some time. When you're accessioning objects, you get very focused on what you're doing, and sometimes you can lose perspective of what the objects actually are, their story. You're just focusing on the documentation side of things. But occasionally, there are objects that capture your imagination, and this book clasp is one of them. It's not particularly fancy, it's fairly common for its time. It's from the late 14th century, early 15th century, and there are lots of pierced book clasps. But for me, there was a resonance with it. There was something that I found, I connected with it in a certain way, and I don't really know why. I'm very interested in the history of the book. I'm very interested in book clasps, and I'm very interested in enamelled objects. And this has the remnants of enamelling on it, so you can see it. And the size of it kind of tells you it probably belonged to a woman from possibly a girdle book, a book of hours that a lady in the 14th century would have consulted at several times throughout the day. The craftsmanship that's involved in this level of work is phenomenal, and I just think it is one of the most beautiful pieces, and I've enjoyed it so much over the past couple of years that I've talked about it in various outreach projects, and I've made a video of it myself so that I can enjoy it when I'm talking amongst my friends and colleagues. And I think it is just a lovely, lovely little thing. And the really interesting thing about book clasps for me is that they are still being made. They're still something that even in the 21st century, the style hasn't changed. And that's really interesting to see.